Hey guys, it's day 9 of the January No Spend Pantry Challenge, and we had a viewer request about how to make a really simple bean burger. So today we're going to be doing that, and I'm going to talk about the importance of beans and rice in your pantry. I'm just going to jump right into the recipe, and then we'll talk about beans and rice while we're waiting for everything to get going. So for this recipe, it's easy. We're going to do half a cup of beans and cooked beans. So that's either 1 can of beans, or if you're going to use fresh or dried beans like I'm doing, I'm going to use a half a cup of uncooked beans and about 2 cups of water. I'm just going to throw those together, get those on the stove right away, and bring those to a boil. For a half a cup of beans, it's probably going to be about an hour and a half boil time. If you're going to be doing a larger batch, it'll take up to 3 hours, depending on the bean and the amount of beans you're going to be doing. Do your own research, or if you already know how to cook beans, just use whatever method you normally use. We want the beans to be tender. And then I'm going to use half a cup of instant rice. I'm not going to add that yet, because the way I do instant rice is, if I'm going to do a half a cup of instant rice, I'm going to bring half a cup of water to a boil. When it's boiling, I'll take it off the heat, add my instant rice, cover it, and let it sit for 5 minutes. So let's get that going, and then I'll bring you back and we'll talk about why we're making a bean and rice burger. While I've got everything boiling on the stove behind me, I figured I'd take this time to talk about why it's important to store beans and rice in your pantry. It's a controversial thing, and everybody has their reasons why to or why not do it. Beans and rice, both, if stored correctly, have a very close to indefinite shelf life. They can be stored for very long periods of time, but I still recommend cycling like you do anything else in your pantry. You know, eat the old, store the new, and just keep that rotation going. But the storage is really good. But the other thing that's really important about a bean and rice in your diet is the two of them together form a perfect protein, or a complete protein. And what I mean by that is, rice doesn't have all of the amino acids, and beans don't have all of the amino acids, but when put together, beans and rice have all 9 amino acids, so you have a complete protein. And whatever reason it is that you're storing things in a pantry, if meat is hard to get your hands on, is overpriced, or is just impossible to get, having proteins or a complete protein in your pantry is really important. And beans and rice is one way that you can do that. So not only is it a complete protein, but the proteins and starches provided will keep you full and give you the nutrients that you need to keep going. Lots of calories. The other thing about this particular burger recipe is, don't think of it as a vegetarian burger. It can be either a vegan burger if you leave out the egg. It can be just a vegetarian burger if you add egg as a binder to help hold it together. But it can also be used to extend beef. So up to 50%. So if you have 50% ground beef and 50% this recipe, you can combine the two and really extend the length of time that you have ground beef that you can serve. And it works really well, and it doesn't really take away from the flavor of real ground beef. It just extends it. So if you can only afford to get a certain amount at a time, or you only have the ability to get a certain amount at a time, you can double that amount by using this recipe. Well, my water came to a boil for the rice, so I'm just going to take the cover off, pour in my rice, give that a quick stir, and I'll throw the cover back on. So the rice is all set. I just have to wait for that to finish cooking. It'll be about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to put it in a bowl and let it cool down to work with it. We still have about an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes to go on the beans. But when those are ready, I'll bring you back. Well, my beans finished boiling. So I drained them and then I rinsed them in the sink. And now what I'm going to do is just pour them onto a plate. And I'm going to mash them with a fork. And if they were cooked enough, this should not be a difficult process. They should smash pretty easy. We want to make sure all of them are broken up. And I'm not trying to turn this into pudding, so you don't need to use a food processor or anything like that. Just use a fork, smash all the beans up. And once these are mashed up, we'll put them in a bowl with our rice, and we'll start making patties, burger patties. All right, I've got all of my beans mashed up. So now I'm going to combine those with our rice. Get that scraped into here. Add the rice. And then what we're going to mix in with this, actually I'm going to get my fork back. I'm going to add 1 egg. Now you don't have to add the egg. These will form into burger patties just fine without the egg. So if you're vegan and you want to skip that, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to add the egg. It acts as a binder and it will help hold them together, because usually when I make these, I'll make them in bulk, a much larger version of this recipe. I'll freeze the extra patties, and they seem to hold up a little bit better and not fall apart while you're flipping it on the grill or however you plan on reheating these. If there's an egg in there, it holds up a little bit better. Plus, you know, the added protein, and we pretty much raise chickens for their eggs here, so we have lots of eggs to add to our recipes. So I'm going to get that added. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now the seasonings that I'm adding, you can change up and use whatever you want for seasonings. You can add crushed red pepper to make it more spicy. You can add a teaspoon of cumin to give it that more traditional bean burger taste. My goal here is to just make it taste like a burger. And that way, if you want to extend your regular ground beef and just make hamburgers, or if you want to season it later and not necessarily form these into patties, but you can form these, mix them with your ground beef, and you can add them to meatloaf. You can add this to meatballs. This is more of like an extender. Think of the old hamburger helper. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced onion, dried minced onion. If you want to add fresh, that's fine. We're at that time of the year where I don't have a whole lot of fresh onions left. Plus, I want to try to concentrate on just pantry items in this and keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to add half a teaspoon of just regular table salt. I'm using iodized salt. It doesn't really matter what you use. A little extra iodine in my diet is probably good since I don't eat seafood. And then I'm going to mix all this up. Once I have all this thoroughly blended, I'll bring you back. I'll show you what it looks like. And we'll form some burgers. I'll put them on a skillet and we'll pan fry a couple of them and you can see what they look like. This is going to make, on its own without adding ground beef, this is going to make 4 standard 4 to 5 inch burger patties. If you combine this with ground beef, depending on what your ratio is, you could probably get about 8 burgers from this. But let me get this finished up and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, I've got all of my seasoning blended in, so now I'm going to scoop it out of the bowl onto my surface here. And what I'll do is just try to divide it into 4 even patties. I'm just gonna roll little meatballs, and then I'll squish those down into burger patty sized. Just that simple. So it's almost like working with regular ground meat at this point, as far as making your patties go. And you can make them any size that you want, any thickness that you want. And they're gonna cook almost the same way. They're gonna cook a little bit different. For instance, I don't know if I would take one of these burgers and put it directly onto your grill. They're gonna wanna be pre-cooked first. So I usually will pan fry these. I'll put them on a griddle. I've got a griddle heating up behind me. Either a griddle or a frying pan, whatever you feel like using. And I'm just gonna sear them on both sides. You can either cook it all the way through and it's ready to go, ready to eat. You can freeze them or refrigerate them at that point and heat them up for later use. And then you just have to reheat them. Or you can just sear them quickly on both sides, and you can freeze them that way. And that way you can throw them on a grill outside if you're gonna have like a cookout or something like that. Or like I said, if you're gonna be mixing these with ground meat, that changes everything because now you're adding meat to it. So you're gonna have to either freeze them and definitely freeze them for later use. You're not going to want to put them in the refrigerator unless you're planning on using them right away. So anyway, I've got my 4 roughly the same size little meatballs here. I'll just squish those into patties, and then we'll transfer them over to my griddle. And I was thinking too, I had mentioned I want to make these just using things that are in our pantry. So if you don't have any fresh eggs, having powdered eggs, we freeze dry our own eggs here. You can use freeze-dried eggs or just dehydrated or powdered egg, and add the appropriate amount of water to get that rehydrated before you add it into the mix. Now, if this feels a little wet to you because maybe you added beet juice because you want to get it a little bit more pink, you can add beet powder to kind of add more redness to this, or you can add beet juice. If it's a little wet, maybe put a little soy sauce in there for the flavor, or Worcestershire sauce. You can use breadcrumbs to add to the mix to dry it up a little bit. So it's easy to form a ball like this or make a patty. If it's just falling apart on you because it's too wet, just go ahead and add some breadcrumbs, or you can use stuffing mix, or you can use whatever kind of bread to dry things up. But anyway, let me go get these transferred over to the griddle, and we'll get them fried up. Okay, I got them on the griddle and flattened out into my patties. You know, a lot of people might think because there's so much starch in here with the rice that they're gonna stick, but they actually slide around real nice. Just make sure that you have an oiled surface. I'm using cast iron that's pretty well seasoned, but no matter what you use, they're not really gonna stick that bad, or if, you know, at all. So what I'm gonna do is just leave these on for a few minutes, brown up the first side, give them a flip, brown up the second side, and I'm gonna cook these up thoroughly, but that's really all you need to do is brown up both sides if you're gonna be putting these in the freezer for storage. I'll cook these all the way through. I'll let you know how long it takes for me, and I'll show you what they look like. And then me and Marilyn are gonna have a couple of burgers for lunch. All right, I did 2 of them as cheeseburgers, and I did 2 of them just plain. So let's get these served up, and we'll have some lunch. Well, the burgers turned out really well. Thanks, Sheila, for the recommendation. We're always looking for ideas to make videos. We usually are so busy that we get things done before we can take the cameras out and film it. So having a cut list of things to do throughout the rest of the month is really helping. So all of your suggestions out there, thanks so much. It really does help us come up with ideas for new videos.
these are a great option for us instead of having to go out and spend a ridiculous amount for 4 burgers or 8 burgers at the store. This gives us an option, and it's another use for those beans and rice that you have in your pantry. If you missed the video on using pinto beans to make homemade baked beans that I did the other day, I'll make sure to leave a link in this video to that. And now it's time for us to have lunch.
Yep. We're using the buns that we made in yesterday's video. And I have mine dressed with mustard, ketchup, and Vietnamese cabbage, sort of like kimchi, but not kimchi. Yep. And I'm having a cheeseburger.
Yep. And I'm going with no cheese, and mine is mustard, ketchup, and the Vietnamese cabbage as well, because it's a great option. It's one of those things that it's fermented. We have it in our fridge, and it lasts for us all winter long. And this is, a great way to use up what we've got in our refrigerator, part of our pantry as well. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, again, like Steve said, thank you to the people who are popping in suggestions for us. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how you're doing if you're taking part in the challenge. And until tomorrow, everybody, take care.
See ya.